Okay, doke. Here we go. Shelf life 41. 41. I totally missed the 40. Like all about to be 40-year-olds, missed the 40. And I guess this is 41. Every time I go to hit play, it's like, oh, it's like the beginning of a race. So it's where it all started. The anxiety. Guys, I have no notes today, but I got some books to chat about. And we're just going to spitball it, and you guys like my quick updates, and it's going well. So let's see what I come up with. First off, what did I finish? I finished, how do you pronounce this? Is it Satan Tango or satantango? Or like, is there a different way of pronouncing this? By Laszlo Krasznahorkai. This book was awesome. I really enjoyed this. I consider it a fresh of breath air. It was bleak and dark and unsettling, as James Wood says, profoundly unsettling. He's totally accurate. And it takes place in Eastern Europe around or after or near the fall of communism, when everything is just a big, wet mud pit. And there's small village communities, and you just see the stupidity, the addiction, the base level of humanity, and it's terrible. And it's the way that this was written, it's just like Krasznahorkai, he's good, and I cannot wait to watch this movie. But yeah, and then the last chapter was so bizarre and weird, and such a wait a minute, are you saying it was kind of trippy, and it kind of left you hanging in like a really good way. I'm not going to do spoilers unless people ask, or unless I do another one of the unshelved. I'm due for one of those. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Satan Tango. I'm just gonna call it Satan Tango. Very cool book. It never lost steam for me. It never got too boring or like, come on, let's go. I never found myself just yearning to get to the next book like I do with a lot of books. And yeah, every chapter, how many chapters was it? I think it was 12 chapters ish. I don't know. One? I'm not counting them all. But they're all about 25 pages each, so that made it really digestible. So read a chapter plus a day. A couple days I doubled down. But very awesome. I'm going to be reading more of Mr. Krasznahorkai. Read a couple of poems from Ezra Pound, and I was going back and forth between Ezra Pound and Black Mountain Poems, and they were in my lunchbox. And I wound up carrying, I had like Satan Tango, both these, and I had the Republic with me. I'm like, this is too many books. I'm reading way too many books all at once. So that's when I just did this one. I put this away for the day. And I've been reading a lot of Black Mountain Poems. I got through Robert Creeley, Robert Duncan. Let's see, a couple more. Robert Creeley. Oh, come on, man. I should chop these up. Charles Olson. Joseph Albers, and I read the whole intro to this. This is really cool. It's a nice break, and I just love reading poetry. It's kind of a meditation without like having to zone out, and like I don't know if I'm like getting the hang of reading poetry, but I am enjoying it, and it's teaching me what poetry is. Not that like what poetry is acceptable, but it's like here's a good sample of good poetry, and it's like, oh, okay, I kind of see what's going on here. And it's like I'm learning, but I don't know what exactly is going on. So I'm familiarizing myself with poetry. After satantango, see how I keep going back and forth, I picked back up the Republic. As much as I want to just jump into something new and fun and exciting that we haven't looked at, we are still reading Plato's The Republic, and I think it was at page 210. Today I'm at 240. I got a chunk, and I think that I could finish this book by Thursday. if I read like 31 pages a day. I think I can do that. I did it today and it wasn't too much of a drag. But I heard Jared, I think his channel is just Jared. At least the second one is. But he was saying, I was watching him today, that reading philosophy is kind of like eating your vegetables. And the reward isn't necessarily in the eating of the vegetables, but the way you feel afterwards. So I could totally see this. I'm still following or watching the videos by Michael Sergiu. The dude's a genius, and I love the way he talks. And he's going through. It was like chapter 1 was one, and then 2 through 5 is another. I'm finishing that one, and then 6 to 10 is another one, and it's just like another quick summary and an analysis. It's like, oh, okay, that makes more sense versus being just terrified of what I was reading. But the Republic, man, this is my first real go at philosophy. I'm gonna read this, and then I'm probably gonna. I have them in a list somewhere, but like I said, we're spitballing today. I'm gonna read Machiavelli's The Prince. That's coming up. I'm so excited to read that one. What else? I got some book mail. I got Arno Schmidt trilogy, Nobo Daddy's Children, and I got this. This is a trilogy, but I got this for Scenes from a Life of a Faun. I forget who recommended this to me, and I keep hearing about Arno between Waste Mailing and a couple of other people. Like, I know he has George Kors. There's like a huge book he has that's not translated, and it has this like Broadernist lore to it. And I keep hearing this thing. Who else? Michael Lentz, the Schadenfreude dude. He has mentioned Arno Schmidt a couple times. And here's how I got to obtain this book. Whenever I have an Amazon gift card, I had one left over for Father's Day. I think I bought like a carburetor for a lawnmower. Whenever I have leftovers, because I don't have Amazon Prime, I don't use it enough to like get use out of the subscription. So I wind up paying shipping. So every time I pay shipping, I always tack on a book that will fill up the rest of the balance. And then I have a list of books that I want. And I pick the cheapest one out of the list I want. And this one, it only had three copies left, and this was like $11. I'm like, okay, well, that's what we're getting. I'll get to it eventually. Let me know if I picked out a good one. But yeah, Scenes from the Life of a Faun. Hopefully that's the first one. It was one of the short ones that was recommended, and it looks like a cool cover. It looks intense, and I don't know, it looks strange the way. See how it's like italicized, not italicized. I'm like, what is this indentation? Is this a conversation? I don't know. It looks interesting. So that can go right here. And then The Whale, because apparently social media doesn't like this title, and took down one of my hashtags. The Whale. And check this out. The Whale. See the whale? I hope you can see it. Check this out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. See the sculpture? This was my grandmother's. And I have been looking at this. This was in my grandmother's house way back in the day. And then it was in my parents' house after she passed. And I remember staring at this as a little kid. And then I became a teenager. I'm like, I want this in my room. And then it stayed at my parents' house when I left. And I started thinking about it. People start talking about Moby Dick. I'm like, I live in New England. I should be reading this. And I'm like, I want this for my bookshelf because I'm eventually going to read Moby Dick this year. And there I said it. And I want this before it gets thrown out in the garbage because nobody likes it. So I quasi-saved this, and it's kind of a family heirloom. I think it's amazing and perfectly apropos. Let's get back to Mr. Melville's magnum opus. I have a history with this book, and to be honest, this book is my white whale. In junior year in high school, I was supposed to write this huge report, not necessarily on this, but on Melville himself. And I BS'd reading this and BS'd reading his other two of the big ones I know, Typee and Omu. And it was pretty much like, and then a whole bunch of biographies about Melville. I know a handful of random facts. As much as you get from speaking fluent Spanish from high school is what I got from doing my English project that was like 75% of my grade. I still got a good grade. I BS'd well, but I didn't retain anything. And I knew I was doing myself a disservice. But because it was so difficult and because I remember like, oh, I can't read this. Like, oh my God. That flavor stuck with me, and I have been avoiding this out of fear that I can't handle it. And then I had a chat with myself. I'm like, dude, you read this. Good job. You read this. You read this. What's the problem? So everyone was reading it. I'm in New England. I wanted this thing. What's the holdup? So there we go. And to be honest, I'm not that far from Nantucket, so I think that would be an amazing unshelved video for you guys. So and there's like movies. So I started reading it, and I'm at the sermon. I'm page 35. Also, this edition is pretty cool, and it's kind of like, it's got like all the teachers' questions, all the stuff that you would like, all right, tomorrow answers 2, 4, and 7 in the back of the book. And you could see where it says, it asks the questions, and it says on page 2 or page 9. That sent me right back into high school, where it was like I would just go to page 9 and only read page 9, and I wouldn't read the whole thing. So it's kind of like, whoa, it's a blast from the past. And being a classic, another blast from the past, but it's awesome. I'm finding it a complete joy to read. It is sucking me in. The writing is absolutely beautiful, and it's hardcore. Talking the way that he talks about the ocean and how like it. What is it? It's Providence's decision that I go back to the sea, and whenever he gets depressed, it's like it's either I go to the sea or the gun and the ball, meaning like he's gonna off himself if he doesn't do something, and like he just goes to the sea instead. Epic. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and I have a feeling I'm gonna plow through it real fast, just out of the fun and the joy of reading it. Like, I felt like I have been missing out. But that's it. This week, I'm going to read a little bit more Black Mountain, get to Ezra if I can, because like I want to concentrate on this and then concentrate on this. Like, it's too much. I'm going to finish this real quick, and then I'm hopefully going to finish this week, and I'm going to just enjoy this. As long as I get my page numbers in on the day. Storygraph has been exceptional. Love that. And there's been a couple of comments looking at my bookshelf about this book right here, Atlas Shrugged, Ayn Rand. Let me tell you about this book. When I was a young kid and I went to Borders Books and Music, I remember seeing this and not knowing anything about this kind of literature at all. And I just remember seeing the sheer girth of this, and I was like, holy crap. I must have been like 11. And I remember looking through this and being like, what are you kidding me? This is a humongous book. I wonder if I'll ever be able to read something this big. And then that was it. And then later in life, I started hearing quite a bit about this and this lady right here. And a lot of people say, get that off your shelf. Don't read that. It's a complete waste of space. That might be the case. But I'm not taking anybody's word for it. That's what got me to read this right here. The controversy. I have to see what everyone is talking about, whether it's cringy or not. That's why my most popular video is the one on the book cover from this, because it was like I cared about what other people thought about what I'm reading. And now I'm here. The more you tell me not to read this, the more I want to read it. And it's going to get read eventually. I would love to hear your opinion on it, but I'm not going to not read it based off of what you say. So, there you go. Anything else? I think that's it. Like and subscribe. Love you guys. I'll talk to you more this week. Bye.